Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are here to do some looks with this palette right here. This is the new Nomad Okavango Safari palette. I saw this palette release and I was like, this is a Kelly color story if I have ever seen one. I am a neutral lover. I like my browns. I like the greens. I like my rose golds. So I saw this. I knew I had to have it. I did purchase this on my own, but then I did reach out to Nomad and I asked if I could have a code. So if you are interested in purchasing this palette or any palette from Nomad, I will list my code on the screen and have it linked down below. But I thought it would be fun, you know, neutral lover, to play with this palette here. I do have 3 looks. I have these 2 looks that are on my eyes and a 3rd look. So if you are interested in that, go ahead and stay tuned. If you are new, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking. I love makeup. I love talking about makeup. So if you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of the K Bella fam. Why don't we go ahead and jump into these looks. Before we jump into the eye look, I thought that I would finish my face. I do have most of my face makeup done, but I don't have a highlighter, and so I wanted to reach back into the Heather Austin Unearthly collab, Resurgence. Now, last time I used this in the video, I only used this white shade here, but I actually saw Heather mix both of them. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my Sigma F35 tapered highlighter and I'm gonna dip into here a little bit and then dip into here a little bit and use the 2 together because I am pretty fair skinned. And you can see, I don't know if you can see on camera, I do definitely see a highlight, but also a little bit of a blush topper, but it's not too deep on me, I don't feel. I'm gonna dip into Rebirth, the lighter one, and just touch a little bit higher up and kind of highlight that way. Again, tapping into a little bit of Renewal, a little bit of Rebirth, putting that on the whole cheek as like a blush topper, which works. It works, it works. A little bit more of Rebirth on the high points. And that'll work. It does almost look like a little bit of a glowy blush, but you know, I love to glow, so that'll work. For lips, I wanted to use my new Lunar Beauty. I did pick up what Manny said was his combination. So it's Milk Tea in the lip pencil, and then the lipstick is Icon. So first we are going to line with Milk Tea. Very creamy. I'm always in awe when I see people lining their lips but also talking. I can't do that. It's like very hard for me. I think just because I'm so expressive by nature, like need to concentrate. So there is the lip pencil in Milk Tea, which is a little bit deeper. And then, don't mind my nail, but we're going to push this little button here. Out comes the lipstick. It is so beautiful. I've swatched it but not worn it yet. So here we go. My lips are a little chapped. I know this is described as a creamy matte, so we'll see. It is creamy. It is creamy. So I would agree with the claim creamy matte because it is drying down matte, but it did feel creamy going on. It is a lighter shade, and sometimes matte shades that are lighter can give you that crease on the inside of your lip, like right here. And so I'll be interested to see if this one does for me. But it felt very nice going on. I love the design. I love the little packaging. Super cute. And then I think I'm going to top it with a little bit of gloss. This is the Resurgence Heather Austin Unearthly Omen Gloss. I love the taste of this one. It is so good. So I'm going to put a little on here. That should help with the hydration. Then I'm just going to wipe this lipstick off. I always I'm always torn with glosses because I don't want to like get this discolored and then make the gloss discolored, but I don't ever want to apply it with my finger either. So we're just gonna wipe it on my hand, and now that the rest of my makeup is done, we will go ahead and move on to the eyes. Now that my hand is nice and glittery, it is nice because even though there are like glitter flecks in the lip gloss, it doesn't translate to like chunky, gritty texture. So I love that. Also, excuse my hair, okay? It was 102 in Houston today, and this is just, you know, this is summer in Houston. This is what we're gonna get. So I am going to prime really quickly with my Sigma Eye Base in Ignite, and then we are going to go in with the star of the show. I'm super excited about the Nomad Okavango palette. Is that how you say it? Okavango? 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 Botswana. I heard about Botswana for the first time when I was reading Prince Harry's book, Spare. How many of you read it? How many of you thought of that book when you heard about this palette? Now I know it takes a really long time for eyeshadow palettes, at least from what I've heard from my friends who have done collabs. So I can imagine that before Spare was a huge thing, that this palette may have already been in the works. I mean, it's possible that I'm wrong, but from what I've heard, I would imagine that this palette was already in the works before that. But when I heard that this palette was coming out, that was immediately what I thought of. But I am a neutral lover, so I am excited to dig into this palette. Okay, first things first on the realist. No, I'm just kidding. First things first, I do like to set my eye primer. People ask me why I do that. I'm going into the Soft Glam Tempera. I do that because I have hooded eyes, and in my opinion, when I don't set this crease area of my hooded eyes, I don't have an easy time blending. Maybe it's user error. I know some people don't like to set because they feel like they get less pigmentation. That may be true because whatever I put in the crease is going to mix with tempera, but I just have an easier time blending when I set that crease. And I don't set the lid, I just set the crease up into the brow bone, and I don't have a shade like that in this Nomad palette. So this is my first time using the palette today. I don't know what I want to do. I've seen so many looks already. It looks beautiful. I just don't know what I want to do yet. Let me maybe swatch some of these. Let me swatch Keystone Termites. Ooh, that's pretty. Leaping, don't know what that is. Beautiful. Okay, let's try Mighty Buffaloes. Gorgeous. Roaring Lions. That one feels like a different texture. I think I may want to go with this first one, the Keystone Termites. These are pretty shades. If you're new here, I'm a neutral lover. I love neutral palettes, like they are my jam. So when I saw this, I was super excited, but if you're here for a colorful look, I am sorry to disappoint. This will definitely be much more of a neutral look. So I'm gonna go in with my Singe Beauty E03. I like this one for the crease, and I think I'm going to go in with this shade right here, Morami Game Reserve. And a lot of pigment is coming up here, and I just wanna put this in the crease. It's blending beautifully. I'm getting some nice pigmentation, but also I feel like it's going to be blendable. You can see how I'm just like, or maybe you can't see, I don't know if it was in frame, like gently tapping into my palettes. That's why a lot of my makeup doesn't look used, because I'm just so gentle with it. Now I'm actually gonna take the same brush and I'm gonna go into this one right here, which is Elusive Leopards, and I'm just gonna kind of put it in the same area. I'm looking to change the color up a little bit, deepen the crease a little bit. I am swirling in this outer corner. I just wanna make it like a little bit more brown, if you will. That shade gave me a little bit more of like that baby puke color, for lack of a better word, which is so popular. And I don't have a ton of those shades, but I just want to make it a tiny bit more brown. Switching up my brush to my BK Beauty 201, and we're going to go into this shade right here in Towering Giraffes. And I'm going to use that to kind of blend the edges. That looks like it is the lightest matte shade. So that's what I'm going to use as like my transition. A lot of times I go in with my transition shade first, but I know I've heard my friend Angie talk about how if you go in with the deeper shade first, you get the most pigmentation, and then you can blend with the lighter shade. So I'm just kind of trying that technique to see. Now I'm going to go in honestly with a shade that or a brush that I feel like I don't use that often. It's the Sigma Blending E25. It's fluffy but also a little bit flat. And I don't know if I want to go in with the Rhinos shade or this one, which is a little bit warmer, Pack of Wild Dogs. Maybe the Rhinos. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press into this shade and kind of pack it on this outer corner. You will notice I do, like I said, I do touch my makeup lightly, but I also go in with a light hand. I like my makeup a little bit more toned down, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but just know if you are someone who doesn't really enjoy toned down makeup, just know you can always go in with more, okay? I'm very light-handed. This is my Singe brush and no product, but I like the fluffiness of this brush, but it's also not too big for my hooded eyes, so I'm just kind of blending this area. Not doing anything neat with it, just a little blend, no extra product. Okay, my same brush, I want to deepen it just a little bit. So we're gonna maybe go into this one. Honking Hippos here. And I'm just going to see if we can make it a little tiny bit deeper. We're going a little on the wild side for me. A little tiny bit deeper here. I like that. I like that a lot. I am going to tap into this shade right here a little bit and just kind of go over those edges in the crease to bring that oliveness back in. Lower lash line, we're going to take my BK204 and I'm going to go into this Honking Hippos, that deep shade that I did, and I'm going to hug this to the lash line and keep it on the outer half of my eye. I'm not going to bring it all the way in. I am mostly pressing, but also swiping back and forth a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see, I have a mosquito bite right here. I woke up one morning and I had it, and I was like, what kind of mosquito tries to bite your eyeball? Like the weirdest spot for a mosquito bite. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my Sigma pencil brush. This one is heavily loved, and I think I'm gonna dip into these two. I'm gonna dip into both of them, the Elusive Leopards and Towering Giraffes, and kind of blend that. I'll take all the way in, then kind of diffuse the lower lash line. I like a smoky lower lash line. I know I haven't done my lid shade yet. I've kind of been into doing all of the mattes first lately. I don't know why. Just for the heck of it. So then I am taking my favorite BK203 and going in with the Keystone Termites right here. And I am going to spray my brush with Fix Plus because that is always how I apply my shimmers. So we're going to keep it the same here. I'm not seeing a ton pick up on my brush. That doesn't mean that it's not. I'm just not seeing a ton. And let's see what we got here. It's definitely a grungy vibe. Let me see if I get more with my finger. Definitely get a little more with my finger. I have nails though, so sometimes it's really hard to get into like the inner part of my eye. Okay, so then I'm just gonna take my finger and go into the Migrating Zebras and see if I can put that on the inner corner. It is more of like a silver, but it's kind of the only inner corner that I have. Does it make me look a little ill since it's more silver, or does it look okay? All right, let me finish the look with some mascara and we'll be right back. Okay, so here is the finished look right here. I am trying a new mascara for a video that's coming up. I don't know if the video will go up before or after this one, but it was a recommendation from a friend. Today is my first time using it, but I don't typically like mascaras upon their first use. I feel like they need some time. So I feel like my lashes look a little sad compared to what they normally look like, but I'm giving the mascara some time. That's not what we're here for. This is the first look. Let's go ahead and jump into, I don't know if I'm doing 2 or 3 yet, but let's jump into the next one. Okay, I think we're gonna do 2 looks today and wrap up this video here. Just to let you know, I do have a fun new highlighter on. I don't know if you can see it right now. You might see it when I zoom out better, but it is from Unearthly Cosmetics. I did get this cute little highlighter here on the Creators and Friends trip when Unearthly did the brunch with us. This is in the shade Mirage. Now, these are very soft, okay? My Mirage was actually broken and Heather switched with me because she already had this, but it's pretty because in this pan, I feel like I see more of like a green, gold, yellow, but on the skin I do see like a hint of pink. So it's fun. One thing I'm noticing about the Unearthly highlighters is that they are a little bit glittery. Glittery highlighters are not my favorite, so just be aware, but that is the highlighter that we have on today. And then my lip combo is from BK Beauty, also from the Creators and Friends trip. I do have the lip liner in Warm Spice topped with Grace. So let's go ahead and jump into the eye look. My eyes, ooh, I got something itching me. My eyes are already primed with my Sigma primer and set with tempera. So now we'll jump into the look. I'm trying to decide what I want to do first. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my BK 201 and go into this shade right here in Towering Giraffes, and we're just going to put this in the crease because I'm trying to decide, do I want to go like the Mighty Buffaloes route, which is like a little bit more of a smokier eye? Do we want to do the Leaping one, I don't know how to say it, which is more of a rose gold? Do we want to do a green eye? We did Keystone Termites, but it didn't turn out super green. Do we want to go into the Nile Crocodile? I'm just trying to decide here. Trying to decide what I want to do. I am using my Sigma switch, this side is super dirty, to just kind of clean off my brushes in between. You can see that there was some makeup left over on here. This is my Singe EO3, and I think what I'm going to do is go into Pack of Wild Dogs because I don't think I've used that one yet. I might have, but it doesn't look very used here. And we're just gonna put this in the crease and a little bit into the outer corner here to deepen things up. Going back into the first shade and just blending these edges a little bit. Okay, so I want to see what Mighty Buffaloes and the Leaping one look like next to each other. I feel like I might put them next to each other. Let's do that. This is my BK203. First, I'm going to go in with this shade right here. This is the Mighty Buffaloes, and I am going to use just one side of my BK203. Now, when we used this palette last, it worked better with your fingers, and it looks like it might be the same case here. But I'm going to focus this on like the outer part of my eye. Ooh, okay, no. This one picked up nicely, maybe because it's a deeper shade, I don't know. We have lots of pigment there, which is nice. And the reason why I like the 203 is I can kind of pack it on, but then I can use the edge to like blend it into the crease also. There's no product on here, but I just kind of want to blend this a little bit. Now for the inner corner, I need something that is a little bit smaller and more tapered. So we're gonna go into the Singe Beauty E01, and I am going to tap into that rose gold shade. Ooh, this is picking up good on this brush. And I'm going to spray it again and actually tap off a little bit because I got quite a large amount. I am going to just press it first. I feel like it's not really showing up that well. Okay, let's go in with a finger. Yeah. I just feel like a finger may be better with these shimmers. They just apply better, and then you can kind of blend it in with a brush. I'm just wiggling my brush in the middle to kind of blend the two. Going in with my Sigma pencil brush, and what do I want to put on the lower lash line? Pack of Wild Dogs. Tap into that. These mattes are a little bit lighter than I anticipated. But we'll put Pack of Wild Dogs along the lower lash line here. I think this will finish out this eye right here. Okay, then I want to do a look that's a little bit more green. So I'm going to go into my Singe Beauty E02, and I'm going to go into this shade right here in Chief's Island. Pretty sure is how you say that. And we are going to put this in the crease. This shade looks deep in the pan, but it's applying a little bit lighter, which I don't mind, but it looks like you can build it up. So I'm going to take a minute to do that and get the pigment where I want it, but then build it up a tiny bit because I do want this to be like the deeper crease shade. Then I'm taking this Sigma E33. I think this was one in the Heather Austin favorites, I'm pretty sure. And I want to go into this lighter green shade here, and I'm pretty sure this is how Heather uses this one. I just want to kind of blend out those edges. This lighter shade is a little bit more like olive toned, I'm noticing. The deeper shade was a little bit more of like a rich green, maybe like a Kelly green, and then this one's a little bit more olive, but I'm gonna use it to blend the edges. Then I'm gonna go into my BK A502 from the Angie Hot and Flashy. I don't think I've used the Elephants one. This one right here, Rumbling Elephants. It doesn't look like I've used it, so I'm just going to pick a little bit of that up and see what it looks like stamped in this outer corner. I don't know why I'm mixing a gray and a green, but I just want to try it, right? So we'll put that right here. Then I'm going to go in with a different pencil brush, and I'm going to take this right here, the Moremi Game Reserve. We used this in another look, and we're going to put this on the lower lash line. And then I think I might take a touch of that rich green and put it in the outer corner. Or should I do the Rumbling Elephants? Maybe we'll do the green. Let's touch, same brush, touch that Chief's Island and put it right here. Okay, I'm using my same BK203, although I do have a couple of these because I love them so much, and cleaning it off. And then we're gonna go in with Nile Crocodile, and we're gonna put that on the lid. I am gonna use the other side. I'm still gonna try it with a brush, but I feel like it'll probably be better with my finger, and I'm still gonna spray my brush and put this all over the lid. That's what it looks like with a brush. Take a little bit of my finger Yeah, the finger just intensifies it. And then the brush can kind of blend it out. I'm not taking it completely over the rumbling elephants. And I will use the Angie Hot and Flashy with no extra product, but just to kind of blend the two together because I still want to see the rumbling elephants. But Nile Crocodile is the star of the show. Okay, let me go ahead and do some mascara, finish up the two looks, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so here are the two looks here. We have this one, which is a little bit warmer. You have like the deeper buffalo shade, a little bit of rose gold, and then over here, the traditional green, very green using Nile Crocodile. Why don't we go ahead and zoom out and I'll share my thoughts on this palette with you. Okay, so I will say this color story here is definitely a Kelly color story. I can see myself using and loving a lot of these shades, but I would have to say the mattes are really the standout here. The mattes perform well, they're blendable, they're creamy. They are a little bit lighter when I apply them than what you see in the pan here, but you can build them up to create like rich pigment that you see here on the green eye. The shimmers, while I don't think they're bad, I think they're better applied with a finger than a brush. I tend to be someone who doesn't like to apply them with my finger. I would prefer a brush, but you still can get the pigment. You can see here I do have lots of shine and sparkle. They just applied better with my finger. But this is a great theme. This is a great color story. I definitely think this is a palette that I will reach into. If you are someone like me, you're more of a neutral lover, I think that this is a great way to go because you do have pops of color in here. The standout shades for me, I think this Keystone Termites I'll get a lot of use out of. I feel like Mighty Buffaloes. If you like a rose gold, this will be a great shade for you. But overall, I am really impressed with the palette. I think the packaging is great. I love how sturdy it feels. I like the magnetic closure. I do like the mirror that you get in here. So I am very happy that I purchased this palette. I do have a code if you are interested. I will have that listed down below. You can go ahead and try it out. But that is going to do it for this video. Let me know which look out of the three is your favorite. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Bye.